Hi everyone. So today we're back with the bacterial growth curve, and in this class what we will see different stage of the bacterial growth curve, as well as we will solve some numericals that are quite relevant to the exam point of view as well. Okay, so without wasting the time, let's continue. So bacteria are microscopic. Just a brief introduction about it. Bacteria, just give me 1 minute. Yeah, that's sufficient. Are the microscopic organism present in a variety of shape, size, and uh, cell that we'll cover in bacterial cell and structure. Okay, so mostly they are divided in three categories like cocci, bacilli, and spirochete. They reproduce asexually through binary fission. Binary fission means, let's say, uh, from 1 to 2, from 2 to 4, right? Binary division means, let's say we have one cell, it's dividing and making two cells. That's called binary fission. It varies among different species such as the Clostridium perfringens, which has a rapid doubling time of 10 minutes. Okay, so that means how fast or how slow the bacteria will grow. It depends on the generation time. It can be 10 minutes, it can be quite a few hours. Let's say in case of Clostridium perfringens, it's approx 10 minutes. While in Mycobacterium tuberculosis, it's quite slow, so it's approx 12 to 16 hours. And the bacterial growth can be influenced by various of factors, including the nutrient availability. Okay, nutrient availability means because based on this, there will be some competition among the bacteria, right? Temperature, of course. Let's say most of the bacteria grow well in 37 degrees centigrade, right? But some bacteria can be thermophobic, so they don't love it, so they love the cold temperature for their propagation. pH, some bacteria are acidophilic, some bacteria are grow well in alkaline culture, right? Level of oxygen, genetic factor, and the presence of inhibitory substance. Inhibitory substance means, so something should be there that will inhibit their overall growth. Okay, now that's quite important thing here, that is generation time. Generation time. Generation time simply indicate, let's say one bacteria is making two bacteria in, let's say, 10 minutes. Okay, now its generation time equals to 10 minutes. That means it take 10 minutes to complete one generation. Now that's the bacterial growth curve that almost we know. Okay, now from here we have to solve a different kind of problem as well. So in the x-axis the time is given here, in the y-axis the bacterial actual total number is given here, right? So it starts with the lag phase. Lag phase. Lag phase means at that particular phase the bacteria is preparing itself. It's not actively dividing. We will see each and every step in details. Okay, followed with the exponential growth phase, or it's also called as the log phase, right? That means the bacteria is actively growing. Okay, let's say now here you can see the number, right? This is the logarithmic value. Let's say here 10 lakh bacteria are there. Now once the bacteria are quite large in number, right? That means it's quite saturated, the culture is saturated, then there will be some competition. So what will happen? The growth will be stopped. Okay, no further growth we can say. And then as the competition will be there, so some people will die, people in the sense some bacteria will die, right? That's the death phase. So here I have indicated, right? So the pink one, that means the few cells, that's in the case of lag phase. Then many live cell, that is the log phase, and dead cell, that's the death phase, right? And in stationary phase also you can see some cells are live, some cells are dead, but the number of live cells are more than the death cell. But in case of the death phase, they are equal, right? We will see each and everything. Now lag phase. Lag phase means a period of adaptation where bacteria prepare for cell division and do not multiply. So here you can say the cell is preparing. Okay, bacteria is thinking, okay, now the environment is suitable for me. Now I need to replicate myself, right? That you need to remember. So here no increase in cell number, right? Cells are metabolically active. If someone asks you whether bacterial cells are metabolically active or not in lag phase, yes, they are metabolically active and they are preparing for the next round of division. It's not that the bacteria has lost all its metabolism something. Here they synthesize enzyme, RNA, protein. Increase cell increases in size, right? Let's say just think, one bacteria is there, and over it one peptidoglycan layer is there, that we will see maybe in tomorrow's class. Peptidoglycan layer. Now, when the bacteria will divide itself, the bacteria need to be quite larger, and as well as the peptidoglycan things should also again resynthesize at this particular place, right? And then from here it will make two bacteria, right? That means the bacteria need to maintain its size, its shape, as well as it need to make all the protein or RNA or anything that's required for bacterial own survival, right? Now some factors are there. Those are the limiting factors. First thing is the age of inoculum, composition of the growth medium, and environmental condition. Let's say temperature and pH. Let's say E. coli. E. coli. E. coli grows well in 37 degree. Now you kept E. coli on 20 degree temperature. What will happen? The growth will be of course very slow. That means here lag phase will be lengthy than the expected, right? And let's say some bacteria grows well in pH approx 7.5. Suddenly you add some HCl, then make the pH to 2. What will happen? Again the bacteria, of course they will not die suddenly, but their lag phase will be for a very long time. Let's say earlier the lag phase was for 2 to 3 hours. Right now the log phase will be for approx 12 hours, 16 hours, because the bacteria is trying to just cope up with the particular pH, and then the log phase will be very slow. The growth will be very slow, right? So, and then comes with the log phase. Log phase means the bacteria has prepared each and everything that's required for the logarithmic phase or rapid division, right? Period of rapid and constant cell division. Here the feature is that cell divides at a constant rate. Generation time is shortest. That means generation time means within let's say that's what I told you. If a bacteria is taking 10 minutes for dividing, it is generation time, right? Cell number doubles regularly. Cells are metabolically most active cell, right? So let's say if you want to, this is one particular bacteria, you want to insert something, maybe some DNA or something inside the bacteria. You want to do electroporation of bacteria. So whatever you want to do, you should consider the log phase, because in the log phase the bacteria are the most active, and it's highly probable the bacteria will take the DNA, the foreign DNA, okay, in the log phase. That's why in recombinant DNA technology, what people do during transformation, they need the competent cell, right? Competent cell. The competent cells, to get the competent cells, people capture the log phase, because here the cells are most metabolically active cell. And now few points that you need to remember. Let's say right now one cells are there, right? After one generation it's 2 cell. After 2 generation it's 4 cell. After 3 generation it's 8 cell. That means what? This is 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3. So after nth generation, what it will be? 2 to the power n, right? After n generation, the total number of bacteria will be 2 to the power n. Now, if I tell you, if I start with 3 bacteria, then what will be the number? Then it will be 6, right? Let's say I start with 3 bacteria, then it will be 6, right? From 6, it will be 12. 6, 12. That means 3 into 2 to the power 0, 3 into 2 to the power 1, 3 into 2 to the power 2. That means it will be 3 into 2 to the power n, right? So I have considered 3 as a random number. So if I take n as the initial number of bacteria, then it will be n into 2 to the power n. That's how the nt equals to n0 into 2 to the power n comes. That means if you start with the initial n0 amount of or number of bacteria, and if you complete the nth generation, okay, after nth generation, what will be the bacteria's total number? That's the nt equals to n0 into 2 to the power n. It is the generation, nothing else. This is the generation. Cells shows maximum sensitivity to antibiotics as well as radiation here, right? And primary metabolites like amino acid, nucleotide, those are produced in the log phase that you need to remember. Next is the stationary phase. So, stationary phase, the growth are equal as the death rate. If you remember the plot, right? Let's say this is the log phase, this is the lag phase, this is the stationary phase, and this is the death phase. Here, okay, growth, that means dg by dt equals dt. I am saying as a death rate by dt. That means you can consider or little bit more, you can say. That means growth is little bit more than the death, because here competition has already started in the stationary phase, right? Let's say you did some E. coli culture, okay, and you are doing it. So after 10 hours, what will happen? It will reach, after 12 hours, it will reach saturation, and then they will start fighting among themselves for the nutrient, right? The key feature is a no increase in cell number and nutrient depletion and accumulation of toxic metabolite, because the bacteria is constantly respiring and all these respiration things are going on, right? So of course bacteria will also secrete some kind of toxic compound, right, and reduce metabolic activity. But the thing here you need to remember, the cellular changes. Here the bacteria, as it's facing the stress condition, they will do sporulation, right? I hope you have heard about endospore. This sporulation thing that is quite common in Bacillus and Clostridium kind of bacteria. So it starts in the stationary phase. And production of secondary metabolite like antibiotics and pigment, it's very very important, because in terms of the exam point of view, right? So if you want to produce antibiotics, right, it's essential that you need the stationary phase, and it's quite important in terms of industrial as well, right? And increased stress resistance. So the main fundamental is nutrient depletion, and there will be some death of bacteria, and the thing is here it's producing more secondary metabolite like antibiotics and pigments, okay, and they are also forms of spore, mostly the Bacillus and the Clostridium. And death phase, of course. So after each thing, let's say the competition is too much, then some bacteria will die. So here in the death phase, the death will be much more than the growth. That is, of course, there is no growth, but death rate is quite high here, right? So number of dying cells exceed the number of new cell formed. Key feature is that exponential decrease in viable cell lysis may occur. Of course, cell lysis may occur, and because the toxic chemical that's synthesized by the bacteria itself, it can lyse the cell sometime, and morphological abnormalities can happen. Maybe it's very hard to synthesize peptidoglycan that necessary for cell wall development, right? Cell wall, and loss of reproductive ability, right? So there are 4 different phases: lag, log, stationary, and death or decline phase, right? Okay, now we will solve some mathematical problem. Let's say a bacterial culture increases from 2 to the power 2 into 10 to the power 6 to 64 into 10 to the power 6 in 3 hours. What is the generation time? That means NT equals to 64 into 10 to the power 6, and initial N0 equals to 2 into 10 to the power 6. Okay? Then what will happen? Nt equals to N0 into 2 to the power n. That means 64 into 10 to the power 6 equals to 2 into 10 to the power 6 into 2 to the power n. Now if you do this, 2 to the power n equals to 32 equals to 2 to the power 5. That means n equals to 5. So 5 generation it has completed within 3 hours. So 3 hours means total time t equals to how much? 3 into 60 minutes. That means 180 minutes, right? And so 5 generation it has completed within 180 minutes. That means 1 generation will be completed within 180 divided by 5. That means 36 minutes. You got it? So this much difference is there within 3 hours, right? And within this 3 hours, how many generations the bacteria has completed? It has completed 5 generations, right? So 5 generation has been completed by bacteria within 180 minutes. So 1 generation will be completed within 180 divided by 5. That will be 36 minutes. So 36 minutes is the generation time, right? It's quite easy. Next, a culture. So just give me 1 minute. Yeah, a culture starts with 10 to the power 4 cells and reach 10 to the power 7 cells. If the generation time is 30 minutes, calculate the total time, right? So now it's saying NT is 10 to the power 7, N0 equals to 10 to the power 4, then generation time, right? So remember, number of generation or n equals to t. That means total time. I am writing here total time divided by g. That means the generation time. Generation time, right? Now nt equals to n0 into 2 to the power n. Of course, that means 10 to the power 7 equals to 10 to the power 4 into 2 to the power n. That means 10 to the power 3 into 2 to the power n. 10 to the power 3 is quite equivalent to 2 to the power 10, because if you do it 2 to the power 5, 2 to the power 8, 2 to the power 10, right? So that means n equals to 10. That means it has completed 10 generation. Okay, 10 generation within 10 generation, and its generation time is 30 minutes. So total time, so n equals to t by g. Now you know n, you know g, you have to calculate t, right? T equals to ng. N means what? N means 10 and g means 30. That means 300 minutes. In the earlier question, it was given, the total time was given, you have to calculate the generation time. Here, the generation time is given and you have to calculate the total time that the culture need to reach from 10 to the power 4 to 10 to the power 7 cell. Nothing you need to do, you need to just put in simple formula, nt equals to n0 into 2 to the power n. From here, calculate the n, that means how many generation it has completed. So 1 generation take 30 minutes, 10 generation will take 10 into 30 minutes. That means 300 minutes. Right? Next, if a bacteria undergo 8 generation in 160 minutes, what is the growth constant? It's quite important thing to know. Okay, remember growth constant K equals to number of generation divided by time taken. That means 8 generation divided by 160. generation per minute, that you can say. That means approximately 120 G generation per minute. Okay, that means how much it will be? 100 by 20, and yeah, it's approx 0.05 generation per minute. So growth or rate constant nothing but total number of generation divided by the total time that the culture taken to reach at this particular state. Next question, and the last question. During decline phase, a culture decreases from 10 to the power 9 to 10 to the power 6 cell in 3 hours. That means here we are not talking about the log phase, we are talking about the decline phase. 10 to the power 9 to 10 to the power 6 in 3 hours. What is the log reduction? Log reduction means nothing. You remember this axis is represented in the logarithm, right? So now log reduction is log 10 to the power 9 minus log 10 to the power 6. That means 9 log 10, 9 minus 6, that is 3. So this is the 3 is the log reduction, nothing else. It's quite simple. So let's say this is 9, this is 6. This is the 3 reduction. That's called log reduction of the in the decline phase. Okay, that's all about today's class. But the thing here, I need to remind you that you need to remember this thing: Nt equals to N0 into 2 to the power n. And few important points, like antibiotics are always produced in the stationary phase. Okay, it's not in the log phase. And if you want to make competent cell and you want to do transformation, you should consider log phase, because those are the most metabolically active state. Okay, let's we're ending this class here. Yeah, and thanks